Hello, everybody. Here we go. All right, meteorologist Hutch Johnson joining you. I hope your Friday has been fantastic. A little bit of a chill in the air out there as we begin the weekend, and it looks like the coldest of the weather for some of us will be overnight tonight. So we have some chill in the air, and then we have some downright sweaty weather, and an update for you on the possibility of a little bit of northern lights activity. I'll have the latest and what I'm thinking on that coming up on this version of Hutch's Weather. All right, everybody. Well, it's one of those. All right, thanks for joining me. Let's take a look at what we have going on. I want to start out with the highlight because I promised that I'd have a little bit of an update. Nathan, good to have you on board, as is always the case. Drop me a note. Let me know where you're watching from. And do you have any big weekend plans as we're kind of wrapping up the summer season? But as I'll show you, more summer-like weather is on the way. Again, if you do have any questions on that, let me know. But for first matter, let's talk a little bit about these northern lights. Now, there is not a strong sign of a huge chance of northern lights, but our nighttime hours are getting a little longer. And with the cold, dry air, the chances will be great to see because we won't have clouds causing problems. And there is a little bit of an uptick expected in some of our numbers. So the best chance of that will be Sunday as we go through, well, both Saturday night into Sunday morning and again, Sunday night into Monday morning, a couple of chances. If you do happen to be out and about or you check out the skies, you can share your photos and upload them to hutchesweather.com. Would love to have you do that. So again, Sunday night. Now, let me show you just a little bit of detail on what this means if I can load my screen up here. Let's see if we can do this here. Nope, that's the camera. I'm sorry. There we go. So here is a look at what we call the KP index. Now, every time the KP index goes to 2, 3, 4, that can mean different things with regards to our chances of seeing northern lights. I've seen KPs at 5 and 6, and really we just get nothing. So forecasting auroras is a challenge. But what we're going to notice as we head through the weekend, particularly on Sunday, both in the morning and then late at night, there'll be an increased chance with a KP of around 3. Now that's not a guarantee, and the best chance will remain in our northern counties or lower on the horizon. It's not a strong event the way it looks, but there'll be a decent chance as we go through the weekend. A couple of other things to watch for. I do post this soft serve page up from time to time, and let me put a link to it in the comments section here right now for you, or I'll do that when I'm done showing you this. But one of the things I like to look at on this is the forecast for 3 days. But let's go ahead and take a look at a couple of numbers that are presented on the main page here, because it's not just KP index. So right now, if you scroll along this page, you're going to find different things about the last 15 to 20 minutes. And here it's showing that we have fairly quiet conditions with the KP index under 3. And that's the case. And in fact, we still have some twilight out here in the northern plains. And then below, you're going to see some links to the NOAA maps that show basic details on where the best chance at seeing those northern lights will be as far as KP indices at different levels. So when it's lower than 3, the best chance of anything for the northern lights goes way north of the international border up in Canada. But if you continue to scroll down, you'll see more content here. And here, this number called the BZ is the orientation of that magnetic field as it's interacting with Earth. And the more negative it is, the better our chances of our seeing it. So a couple of things that you can look at there when you're going out and about. And just remember, be a little bit on the patient side out there. And they don't always show up right away. Sometimes you just have to take a look at that sky a little more clearly. I like to get away from the city lights. So that's an update on that. And again, thanks Tracy for watching from Lake Brunson. It's good to have you on board. Now there is a look at this. Let me pull over to the other side of the screen here and talk a little bit about what we have going on with regards to our forecast. Again, crystal clear skies, longer nights will increase our chances. We don't have as much smoke in the atmosphere as well. That should increase our chances as well. And now I'm going to go ahead and pull that link up here, and I'll link this site on this broadcast and in the Facebook comments here, so you can also go visit it and tool around and learn a little bit more about forecasting the northern lights. This is just one site I like to use from time to time. And Leora says, well, I'm laughing. One of the A chest freezer's died. Well, I guess if there's a bad time to have the chest freezer die, it's in summer, but at least the night won't be so hot. It's going to be a little cool, and there'll be a chance for some frost. Let's get your forecast. But again, if you missed the headline here, that's the fact that we do have a chance at the Northern Lights. The best chance will be late Saturday night into Sunday morning, more likely closer to Sunday morning. And then as we go into Sunday night, there'll be a chance as well. And we'll keep you posted. And I'd love for you to upload your photos. Now let's take a look at your forecast facts. First and foremost, look at these Saturday morning temperatures. The farther west you go, the better chance we'll have at seeing some of these temperatures in the green. And that's good. That means we'll have 40s and 50s there. But where we see the blues starting to peak in, including out in the Red River Valley, we're talking temperatures there that will generally be dipping close to those 30s. I think Fargo gets down to 39 degrees for your Saturday morning for a low, and then we'll quickly start going up. It's not going to stay in those 30s long, but look out at the arrowhead of Minnesota. Let me zoom in on this a little bit. Woo, that's some mighty chilly weather right there. That'll cause some of us, after all of the heat and humidity that we've had, to have goose pimples on our goose pimples out there with some mid 30s and, dare I say, some low level area frost in low lying areas. That's right. I said the F word right here on this broadcast. Frost is not something we want to talk about. My house plants safe outside and chill from the frost. Paula, yes. Let me know again where you're watching from, Paula, but I can tell you, let's see, I think you said, at any rate, the best chance for any frostiness will be off to the far eastern side of Minnesota and north, but I do think we'll see some areas anywhere we see the blue colors, including over Hutch's Melon as I zoom back out, where we'll dip down into the 30s. And for a couple of low-lying spots, it might be possible to see you get down into the mid-30s. And that means near the grass, that could be frosty. Boo! Okay, now let's take a look. I don't think you're going to need to run and cover all of the plants up there. This won't last long. It's not something that's going to be a hard frost. It's not going to be hours in the 30s or low 30s. So keep that in mind. Paula, Dilworth. Yeah, Dilworth, Moorhead, Fargo, Moorhead. I think we're going to scrape into the upper 30s tonight. That's going to be frost free for us. So that's good news. But there could be a couple spots out to the east. Here's your temperatures in the afternoon. Notice out to the west in the big sky country of Montana, Glendive right up here, 84 degrees, 84 as well out in Sydney, Montana, 80 for Minot, 80 or so for the Bismarck area. We're talking low to mid 70s in the James River Valley, all the way up to the Cheyenne River Valley's headwaters there near Devil's Lake. 72 in Grand Forks and 69 degrees for Babe the Blue Ox in Bemidji for the afternoon. There'll be not much wind. It's going to be a perfect start to the weekend. Absolutely gorgeous out there with cool 60s in the arrowhead of Minnesota. And here's a look at the planning forecast as we get to that. Let's see if I can duck out of the picture here. 1, 2, 3, ducking. There we go. I'm really fast. 74 degrees in Fargo with a chilly morning in the upper 30s. So a nice warming trend, light winds. The winds increase on Sunday to southerly. That's going to bolster temperatures back up to near 80 in Fargo, near 80 in Grand Forks, and we will be in the 80s in the James River Valley and parts of central and the eastern third of North Dakota. Then the 80s are returning. Look at this. We have 83 degrees on Monday, 85 on Tuesday, and it looks very warm. We got some gusty and sizzle in the forecast. Sizzle nizzle Thursday, 89 degrees. Are you kidding me? Hey, Susie McDonald, I hope everything down in the desert is good. If that's indeed where you are, we're going to really see some cool weather here compared to what you probably have been experiencing as we've gone through the summer months. So this is a look at the 7-day planning forecast. Now, I've loaded up a detailed forecast in the hour-by-hour style, but this time, instead of looking at the fun stuff that has to do with, I'm sorry, your screen went a little goofy there because I'm still getting used to my new screen setup here, but the bottom line is the hour-by-hour forecast has a lot of fun with it. We're going to take a look at this one, and it's going to show us details about the next 10 days. This is the American model, and we're going way out there just to show you what's coming up next. Here we go as we close out this week with a fancy look at this. Now, we're starting out on Friday, and as we set this into motion, you're going to see no greens. I've got both temperature colors here on the base of the map, and the little green blips you'll see behind my melon here, that's the exiting rain showers. And I can zoom out nationally, and you're going to see that the cold front that has brought the cold splash of air to slap us in the face here in the northern plains, is right over here. It's all the way off the Atlantic seaboard. And the coldest pool of air is focused right around the Great Lakes and Hudson Bay as we head through the evening tonight. So this is 11 o'clock at night. Now let's set this into motion just a little further. And here is a look at about, well, let's go on. That was a fast move into Saturday morning. Here's Saturday morning, 10, 11 o'clock. Woo, there's that cold air. So notice this as we go into Wisconsin, much of the state of Wisconsin, northern parts of Minnesota, that's where some of the coolest of the pool will be. But make no mistake about it, they're going to feel a nice relief from the humid and the heat in Kansas City and all of Illinois, as well as the sharp boundary of the cold front will bring a chance for some showers and storms on Saturday morning out to the east. Let's see if I can step through this a scan at a time. The heat builds Saturday in Montana, but not here. It's going to be very comfortable. Sunday morning is going to be mighty chilly once again, but the coldest pool continues to slowly slide off to the east. We'll still be in the 40s here in Fargo, but gone will be the 30s. Now, the afternoon temperatures, notice the heat building out in the western part of the Dakotas. What are these colors? Let me show you. I'll tell you right here. Well, maybe I can't tell you. I got to zoom in just a little closer. Let's see. Okay, I don't know why it's not letting me show or plot these temperatures. We're talking well into the 80s for Bismarck and for Pierre, South Dakota, as we go into the Sunday afternoon time frame. And we'll be back in the 80s here, or very close to it, in the FM area and in Grand Forks. Hutch has 83 for Fargo, by the way, as we go into the Monday time frame. Now, check this out. We don't get nearly as cold, and then the white hot heat starts to return to the valley on Monday, and the heat is back on Tuesday. Look at the Dakotas here. Warmer than much of central and eastern Minnesota, warmer than the big sky country of Montana as we go through, as that heat focuses here. When's the next chance of rain? Out in the oil patch, and it looks like it's Wednesday with a thunder shower chance, but that ends out there for the most part. It doesn't look too organized here at all, and it looks like high temperatures and dry weather for the most part. Our best chance of any moisture at all comes late in the week, and I had this tagged at about Friday, and here we go. Friday, a little bit cooler, and certainly a chance for a spotty shower or thunderstorm in the forecast. And that was illustrated on your 7-day planner right over here. Let me go back over to that. And now I'm going to take a sneak peek at your questions if you have any. So Susie says 105 out there in the desert, and 99 is coming. Wow, that's some pretty chilly fall-like weather there for you, Susie. Thank you for your input there. Thanks for sharing the stars, Paula. It's always a pleasure to have you on board. And I got to tell you, that's a look at the weather. I hope you have a wonderful weekend out there. I plan on getting a little bit of fun out there, but I did want to pass this word along to you. If you heard the news is that Hutch has a new exciting program coming, and that is the fact that I get to work with area kids thanks to my friends at Luther Family Ford. Luther Family Ford proudly presents Hutch's Weather Kid, and it starts, and we need you. So if you're a parent, you're a grandparent, and you want to have a kid that you think might be having fun doing the weather with Hutch, guess what? I am going to do a meet and greet next week. That's right. Come on over to Luther Family Ford in South Fargo, right off I-29 and the 32nd Avenue South exit. Swing on by between the hours of 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. and I'll be there to meet you. But more importantly, I want you to sign those kids up. I need a healthy dose of kids to sign up so we can get this scheduled out. And if you get the call, then you can help me try to figure out this wild weather we have that swings from the 90s one week to the 30s the very next. It's unbelievable, but it sure is a lot of fun. And I've had a lot of fun talking about weather in my career. So I hope to see you out there. Watch for more information about when the start date is for this fantastic Hutch's Weather Kid. Proudly brought to you by Luther Family Ford. Thanks to my sponsors. Thanks to you. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. But for now, if you do get any Northern Lights pictures, go ahead and upload them at hutchesweather.com. Give me a follow on Facebook, and you can subscribe on YouTube. It's wonderful to be with you. We'll talk again very soon. Hi, Betty from Cormorant. I hope you're enjoying Lakes Country. Beautiful lake weather, crisp and calm in the morning. Enjoy.